hit 290 Jake. So I posted it on the page and shit. So and to your side, break down exactly what's going on in that statement that's posted online right now.
So that's a prison grievance. That's what that is. That's not a because you know 99% of people on here ain't never even been to prison. That's a grievance. So what happened? Whatever date in 2014, we was at war with the Zoes and beat them at Lancaster. That was the jungle dorm. It was during shift change. One of my brothers popped one of the Zoes with a lock. He had a big fat ass gold lock. Hit the Zoe in the back of the head. That's Mark Cherry. That's in the paperwork. Or Sherry. You know that French shit.
Because it's like 3 different people. I see Jimmy Hooray, Louis.
Listen, we're gonna break all that. I can even bring up their fucking pictures so you can see what they look like. But Mark Cherry was the Zoe that got hit in the back of his head with a brick. Or not a brick, a lock. Put a hole in his shit. So he got hit. He went, made this weird ass sound. Everybody in the dorms like mad quiet and shit. I'm getting up because this early in the morning. I got my arms in my sleeve, like in my shirt or whatever to be warm. I sleep right next to the water fountain, which is right next to the booth. The booth is where the COs are at. Cocaina is Jimmy. Cocaine is his nickname. That's the other Zoe.
So Jimmy Horry.
That's who fired me up. So he walks this way and he swings a sock and it ends up being a piece of asphalt from the basketball court. That's what I got hit with in the back of my head. The shit break and fucking rocks and pebbles shoot all over my bunk. He fires me up while the COs is watching this shit. The COs see him do this and then he goes right up to the booth and just stands there until they come out the door and then lock him up. So what we call that in Florida, that's a gangster check-in. You can check in where you, hey, CO, I want to go PC, I don't feel safe, or you crash somebody in front of a CO. Where you still get off, but you do it in front of the CO so you get picked up. So when I go to get up, my homie Red Light that's in the dorm with me is like, nah, don't get up, don't get up. They gonna come in here, they gonna see you straight, you gonna be good. They came in, CO was like, let me see your head. I turn this way. He's like, all right, let me see the other side. I turn this way. He's like, nah, you got to go to medical. You got a hole back there. So I got a scar back there and everything. So while this is happening, while the COs are in the dorm, one of the homies that's further down stands up because he had a Zoe sitting behind him. So he thought the other Zoe was going to crash out because they trying to get the fuck out of the dorm now because it's war. So he stands up. The CO grabs him. Hey, come here. Grabs him up. That's the other name that's in the case. What, Jerry Lewis?
Oh, yeah.
He had nothing to do with nothing, but he get grabbed up. Then they start looking at everybody. They're checking hands, heads, whatever. They check Mark Cherie and they see he got a fucking hole like this in the back of his head. So they take all 4 of us, the kid that fired me up, me, the Zoe that got fired up, and the other homie that didn't do shit. They take us all into the back of the dorm where it's like a back hallway that COs are able to come into the unit without nobody seeing them. They take us back there. They beat the fuck out of the one that fired me up, and they beat the fuck out of my bro, Jerry Lewis. Beat the shit out of them. Then they take me and Mark Sherry to medical. So we got to get stitched up and shit. We get stitched up. We go to confinement. Once you in confinement in Florida, you go to AC confinement, which is administrative confinement. You got to go in there for however long it is, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then you go in front of DR court. When you go in front of DR court, that's when they're like, okay, so you got hit with possession of a weapon and assault on an inmate. How do you plead? Not guilty. All 4 of us got hit with all the same shit. So they lied in the DR and said that I hit him back with a rock and he had a lock or some shit. It never happened. I just got fired up. Then the 2 other dudes, they said they went at it. They didn't even do nothing because Mark Sherry got popped by one of my bros that didn't even get caught for doing it. But because this kid fired me up in front of the COs, all 4 of us went to confinement. Obviously, he went to confinement, but then the 3 of us went to confinement too. So all of us go in there, we all get hit with 120 days. After we get hit with 120 days, I write a grievance. They already know bro popped me because they fucking watched him do it. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I got hit with this, da-da-da-da-da. And then the COs beat the fuck out of them too. I said the COs beat the same dude that fired me up. And then they beat the other homie that had nothing to do with nothing. So they talking about, oh, you snitched on dude. How did I snitch on dude? We already got sentenced to confinement. That already happened. We already got found guilty in confinement. But not only that, you crashed me in front of the police where they watching it, so your ass could just check in. Then they said, oh, you snitched on the police. How you snitch on the police? I thought Kodak Black did that. Everybody said, no, you can't snitch on the police.
So
Because
what you saying, though?
I didn't get hit by the police. They got beat by the police.
Hey, your shit muted. Your shit went quiet.
If you look on the paper from the grievance, it says February 4th. If you go look at my disciplinary reports,
Yeah.
I got the bitches right here.
So you basically saying that grievance, or you know what I'm saying, the statement that people seeing is not no forward shit or no fake shit.
Nah, I wrote that.
So you definitely wrote it.
They were like, oh, it says Mark Cherry. Nah, Mark Cherie is somebody else. That was a Zoe that got hit in the back of his head. He's from fucking from Broward County or something.
So they gonna be on you. They're gonna be like, so I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought niggas ain't supposed to write nothing. You supposed to not talk. Supposed to write nothing. You supposed to not talk to the police and say shit. So like, how do you answer to the people who gonna say that?
This is a grievance. The grievance goes to the warden and then goes to classification. So this is how you get out of confinement. We all got to confinement and we didn't do shit. This ain't no fucking, you know what I'm saying? But you look at this right here, participating in a disturbance and disobeying the order. This shit, hang on. This shit came from right after the whatchamacallit, that aggravated assault on the inmate. So when that shit happened, they ended up coming to my door, not the warden, but the captain and all the COs that was involved in the grievance. They came to my door, they bucked me on my food, so they're like, we ain't giving you shit. And then they gassed the fuck out of me for the same incident. So I ended up going through it with the police about this whole situation. And none of us got out of confinement. So I ended up getting 30 days for each one of them. So that's 60 days for them 2 DRs for going through it with the police. And then 120 days because Buddy crashed me. So I went to confinement because of Buddy. 2 other people went to confinement because of Buddy. We all got sentenced for this shit.
So you saying though, like the grievance that you wrote out or whatever, you had to write that shit in order to get out of confinement? Like that's like a mandatory thing, or you was just working your move or something?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody really gets out of confinement. If you get